Welcome to Knowing Me, Knowing You with me, Alan Partridge, live from BBC Television Centre. You better believe it, babe, there's a new chat in town. Tonight is what I call a JFK kind of a night, because just as everyone can remember what they were doing when President Kennedy was shot in the head, I like to think that 30 years from now, people will remember what they were doing when I first said, "Aha!" As tonight's motorcade of chat cruises through Celebrity City, let's hope there isn't a lone sniper waiting to pick off my star guest. He arrived at Heathrow Airport 10 minutes ago and is now being whisked to the studio in a black Vauxhall Carlton. He is none other than 007 James Bond Roger Moore. I hope you like my set. It's modelled on the lobby of a top international hotel. And, for the first time ever on a chat show, a beautiful fountain. But first, up there in their musical mezzanine, let's get to know my resident house band, Glenn Ponder and Chalet. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Glenn Ponder, aha.
Aha.
Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Chalet, aha. Aha. Great to have you aboard, Glenn.
Well, it's great to be here. And we're really looking forward to it.
Sorry?
Sorry.
Glenn Ponder. Glenn Ponder and Chalet.
Yeah. And you, have a good time.
Well, it's time to meet my first guest now, after I've done her introduction now. Now, Red Rum, Desert Orchid, Black Beauty, Shergar and Mr. Ed. What have they got in common? Well, they're all celebrity horses. My first guest is not a celebrity horse, she's a celebrity who rides a horse. There's no finer way to start my series than in the company of World Championship winning lady show jumping horse legend, Sue Lewis. Got a quick whiff of your perfume there, that's nice. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Sue Lewis. Aha.
Aha.
Right, now. Horses. Horses. People say a dog is like its owner. Is a horse like its rider?
I don't know.
Can you speak up a bit?
I don't know.
You don't think there's any resemblance? You don't think you look like a horse?
I hope not.
Speak up!
I hope not.
Sorry, can we turn the fountain off, please? Sorry, Sue. Thank you. The idea of the fountain was to represent a fountain of knowledge, you know, to symbolise the show. Now, Sue.
It looks lovely.
It is. Well, it costs £2 grand. £2 grand to read that. Yeah. That's, by the way, that's the kind of thing you'll be seeing throughout the series. Lots of money spent on expensive items. Now, you won the hearts of the British public when last year you trotted off with the World Championship.
Yes.
How did that feel?
Oh, great.
Really?
Really great.
Right, yeah. And was the horse, was your horse, Joie de Vivre, was he aware of the excitement?
Oh, yes.
What did you give him a treat afterwards?
Yes.
What? Did you go up and tickle his belly? Yeah, no, actually, that's a dangerous area. I'm thinking of that man with the dolphin. Now, Sue, let's move on to the anecdotes. Do the anecdote. Do it now.
Well, all it was that when you transport a horse to an event in a horse box, you have to do it very carefully, and it takes a lot of time and effort and so on. Yeah. The owner of Joie de Vivre, Maxwell Henderson, was driving us up
to... Can you just get to the bit about the horse box on the road?
Right. Well, we were driving up the motorway, and
she was driving on the motorway with this man in a car. Sorry, I'm doing the story for you. Please tell it.
Right, well, we were driving up the motorway and Maxwell decided he needed a drink, so we stopped off at some shops in Newbury.
Right, sorry, Sue, can I just interrupt you? I've just been told that Roger Moore has just passed Heston Services and should be with us very soon. Sorry, Sue, carry on.
I've forgotten where I was. Where was I?
I've absolutely no idea. Well, that's not working. Abandon that. Go on to the other story.
Oh, I remember.
All right, go back.
Right. We stopped at some shops in Newbury so that Maxwell could get a drink, water or a cup of tea or something, and I wanted to buy something to read.
Right, so you bought a book.
So I bought a book. And the point is that it was a very small bookshop, and they were catering for a sort of mass audience.
Be quicker.
So, right. So I went in and I bought a book, and then when I was going back out to where the horse box...
That's not quick. She bought a book, she got in the car, and the book was called Killing Horses. And the driver thought she's some sort of murderess. She explained she was just buying the book. It was hilarious. It really was. That's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. OK. Now, it says here, Hawaii. Hawaii. What happened in Hawaii? Exotic location. Give me spice.
I lost my luggage.
Oh, dear. What happened?
Well, it turned up in Brasilia.
Oh, disaster. What next?
Well, it was fine. I mean, there was nothing missing or anything.
You see, that's no good. That's an incident, you know. It's not an anecdote. You've got down here in your press release anecdotes, and that's dishonest, you know. It's no good for a chat show. You know, it's just for future reference. Otherwise, you waste people's time.
Thanks.
Well, that's it. I've got nothing else to say.
No more questions.
No. Have you got any questions?
Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yes, I have. So I went pony trekking when I was a schoolboy in Cornwall.
Gosh.
It's like one of your stories, that, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, Sue Lewis. Last night, I met a man who quite literally changed my life. He made me think, laugh and cry in wonderment. I, along with many others, witnessed his mystical powers last night at the London Palladium. Please welcome magician-hypnotist Tony Le Mesmer. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Tony Le Mesmer. Aha.
Aha.
Buddha. The Dalai Lama. Nostradamus. That man the Beatles went to see. Uri Geller. And now Tony Le Mesmer. What is it about you lot that sets you apart from mere mortal men like me, Alan Partridge?
We are all shaman on a spiritual quest. And we travel on this journey using the energy of the life force.
Right. Now, this life force can take many forms, presumably, be it transcendental meditation, bending spoons, or producing a lady in a cage.
That's exactly right, Alan. What we all do, we are all channelers. We channel energy from within to without.
Right, now, I'm going to try and pin you down here. Can you be more specific?
I am a man who harnesses the harmony that is within us all.
Now, that's more vague. I want you to be more specific.
Let me put it like this, Alan. We have within us a consciousness which is only partially realised. I want us to realise it fully, to exploit all the hidden recesses that are within us.
Right, now, I think I know what you mean. You're saying that if I, Alan Partridge, were to harness the harmony or spirits within me and therefore, and then the beings around me and somehow channel that energy up some sort of tubular conduit of consciousness into a cloud of... I'm sorry, I've absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. I'm completely lost. Now, last night at the London Palladium, you did a fantastic show. The highlight for me was when you hypnotised 20 people and got them to simulate sex to Hi-Ho Silver Lining. It was fantastic. It was great.
That's merely an example of how I get people to realise their inner potential,
Yeah, there's a marvellous bit where you had two men in their underpants barking like dogs.
It's their subconscious desire that is coming to the fore. That's why I'm interested in the whole world of dreams.
Right. Now you're being interesting. Because I often have a recurring dream in which I am an owl
When you are an owl, how do you feel different?
Smaller. More agile. Able to fly.
Able to fly? Well, perhaps that means you want more freedom. And what else can you do as an owl?
Now, I can rotate my head 360 degrees, which, you know, is a real boon when you're driving because it eliminates the blind spot.
OK. Anything else you can do as an owl?
Yes, I can emit pellets.
I can't help you there, sorry, Alan.
No? Oh, well. If anyone can shed some light on that, why I, Alan Partridge, might want to emit pellets as an owl, then drop us a line to the usual address and don't forget to mark your envelope with the word pellets. We're going to have a bit of fun now because, Tony, you are going to hypnotise me.
That's right, Alan, yes.
OK, well, this may take a few minutes, so don't worry if it takes some time.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Partridge is now totally hypnotised, totally in my control. Is that not so, Alan?
Yes.
Let's just put that to the test, shall we? Now, whenever you hear the word aha, I want you to be a little scary monster. Aha. Very good. Stop. Now, Alan, if you could make love to any woman in the world, apart from your good lady wife, who would that be?
Ursula Andress.
Ursula Andress. OK, when I click my fingers, I want you to see me as Ursula Andress.
Oh, Ursula, I've always wanted to meet you. I can't believe it's you. I like the bikini. Very nice. I love all your films. I've got all of them, from Dr. No right through to all the others.
Enough of this, Alan. Is there somewhere we can go where we can make mad, passionate love?
Oh, God. Yes, the Moat House Hotel in High Wycombe. They know me there. They're very discreet. You'll love it. It's got a 24-hour carvery.
Stop. Alan, when I click my fingers again, we will be in your car on the way to High Wycombe.
It'll take about 15, 20 minutes, that's all.
Can we just pull over now and make love in a lay-by, please, Alan?
I can't stop on the motorway. That's the hard shoulder. It's illegal.
No, but, Alan, I'm begging you, please.
Ursula, it's an offence to stop on the hard shoulder unless there's a malfunction with the car.
Look, Alan, I'm taking my top off, please.
Look, no, if I get caught in flagrante whilst violating the highway code, my wife will find out, I'll get 3 points on my licence, my insurance premium could go up by 30%. That's not going to happen. Now, put your top on and get out. Now, go, get out.
Wake up.
Well, as I say, it'll take a few seconds before I'm totally hypnotised.
It's all over, Alan.
You've hypnotised me?
Yes, all finished.
Well, I hope you didn't make me look too foolish.
No. Of course I didn't, Alan.
Well, simply remains for me to say thank you very much, Tony Le Mesmer. My next guests are a British married couple of actors who live and work in Tinseltown stateside. I want to get to know them. I do. Please welcome Gary Barker and Tanya Beaumont. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Tanya Beaumont, aha.
Aha.
Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Gary Barker, aha.
Aha.
Now, you've both just flown in from Hollywood. What's it like to be back in good old London?
Oh, it's such a relief to be back here amongst ordinary people, you know.
Right. Where are you staying?
The Savoy.
Marvellous. Who's paying?
You are.
Really? Is that true? Are we paying? Yes, we are. Well, enjoy yourselves. You know. Just easy on the room service. Chicken in a basket, that's your lot. No, seriously, have a drink, Just don't go mad, that's all. Some people, they empty the minibar into a carrier bag. That's not on. I'll tell you something. We had Roger Moore on the show the other week, and between you and me, if it wasn't nailed to the floor, it was going back to Switzerland. He even took a towel. You know. Roger Moore is a towel thief.
He's my godfather.
Really? He's a lovely man, lovely man. Gary. Now, but he is a towel thief. My next guest is a high-profile agent and publicist who represents both celebrities and, for want of a better word, harlots. Please welcome the man Virginia Bottomley called that little turd, Lawrence Knowles. Lawrence, you are the man they love to hate.
I'd prefer to think of myself as the man they hate to love.
But you're not. But you're not. You are the man they love to hate.
Well, that's very amusing, Alan, and some of your audience found it amusing too. But there is a positive side to what I do. I often help various celebrities. If I might give you an example.
Please do.
Let's take the Dimbleby brothers. Supposing Jonathan and David came to me and they said, Lawrence, we need help. Mm-hmm. People think of us as a little bit too serious, a little bit dull.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, I would rectify that image problem by ensuring that the Dimbleby brothers were seen letting their hair down at a fashionable night spot, such as Stringfellows.
Right.
Conversely, take a celebrity who is perhaps perceived as being unintelligent, someone like Paul Gazza Gascoigne.
Or Dave Lee Travis.
Yes. That's a better example.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
So if Dave Lee Travis was worried about looking unintelligent, I would ensure that he was seen at the opera, perhaps with a book in his hand.
Yes, it's quite clever. Yeah.
Another scenario that might occur is a celebrity who comes to me and says, Lawrence, I am a practising homosexual, and I would like to keep this delicate matter private.
Very wise.
I would then ensure that this homosexual VIP was seen in a heterosexual context.
Such as?
A pub. A fast car, a football match.
Right. You don't mean George Best?
No, Alan, let me assure you that George is as straight as the passes he used to make to Bobby Charlton, who, by the way, is also not a homosexual.
But what if someone comes up to you and says, Lawrence, how can I put it? I play for both sides. I play for Manchester United and Manchester City. I'm Dennis Law.
I don't understand him.
I'm bisexual.
You are?
No, Dennis Law. No, not Dennis Law. No, God, no. Sorry, Dennis. Sorry about that. If you're watching, let's go for a drink sometime. As friends. No, actually, no. Let's not. Let's call it off. I'll just go home to my wife. Welcome to Knowing Me, Knowing You with me, Alan Partridge. Tonight, I am a rocket. Prepare to board Sputnik Partridge and enter the stratosphere, or should I say, the chatosphere. Tonight's show is hot. How hot, Alan? Well, imagine Debbie Harry in cami knickers spoon-feeding a beef vindaloo to Pan's people in a sauna in Bangkok. That's half as hot as tonight's show. But first an apology. In last week's show, I accused actor Roger Moore of being a towel thief. This allegation was untrue. Roger Moore has at no time stolen a towel, bath mat, flannel, shower curtain, sponge, or any other form of hotel bathroom accessory. I, Alan Partridge, apologise unreservedly to Roger Moore for my ill-informed and ignorant comments, and I fully acknowledge that I am guilty of gross professional misconduct. It's time now to welcome my resident house band, Glenn Ponder and Ferrari. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Glenn Ponder. Glenn, if this chat show was a train, do you know what kind of train it'd be?
No, Alan.
The Chattanooga Choo Choo. But seriously... What was that whistle noise? What was that?
Yeah, meant to be the train, Alan.
Right, you didn't do that in rehearsal.
It's meant to be a surprise.
Surprise me in rehearsal, Glenn. Don't surprise me on a live television show. It's a little bit naughty, that. Shouldn't do that. A bit naughty. Glenn Ponder and Ferrari. Oh, this show is hot. Now, women. What are they? To some women, you can say, that's a nice dress. Would you like to have dinner? With other women, you've got to keep your distance. Best not get involved. Just be pleasant. I'm talking about those women who, until the last century, were confined to the island of Lesbos. In other words, lady lesbians. That's what my next guests are. Yes, this show will be replaced by a new series for lesbians called Off the Straight and Narrow. Quite clever, that. And it will be hosted by my next guests. I've been told by the BBC to have them on to promote their show, which I think is a good idea. I can't tell you what's going to be in their show. That's their job. So let's hear it from the horses' mouths. Please welcome Wanda Harvey and Bridie McMahon. Diddly-dit-dee-dee, two ladies. Diddly-dit-dee-dee, two ladies. Diddly-dit-dee-dee, and I'm the only man, yeah. Diddly-dit-dee-dee, I like it. Diddly-dit-dee-dee, they like it. Diddly-dit-dee-dee, this 2-for-1, ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. I'm sorry, that was misjudged. I'm sorry. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Wanda Harvey, and knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Bridie McMahon, Bridie McMahon, Bridie McMahon. Lovely name. That's the kind of name you imagine an Irish, flame-haired, fiery woman to have in a film with John Wayne, isn't it? You just imagine him saying, Bridie McMahon, I'll have you over my knee and give you 6 of the best. And you'd be saying, oh, I'll have nothing to do with you. Keep your hands to yourself. But of course, in the end, you marry him. And, but of course, that's not going to happen. You're a lesbian. And you're Wanda. Wanda, I was just thinking, actually, if you married Glenn, you know what your name would be, don't you? Wanda Ponder. But that's not going to happen because you're, and so's he. I don't want to get bogged down in this whole nest of gay vipers.
Have you got a question?
Yes. First question. What's it like to be a lesbian?
Well, you're asking us to sum up the experience of millions of women in one media-friendly soundbite.
If you could.
Well, I can't.
Well, you're going to have to, love, if you want to make it as a TV presenter.
Well, with all due respect, considering we have a series which runs for 24 weeks, I think we've...
24 weeks? I only got 6.
Well, perhaps the BBC thinks our show's going to be 4 times as good as yours.
No, they don't. Now, you two, you're both lesbians, we know that. I don't mind, it's not a problem. Does it bother you when you hear people use these slang expressions?
What slang expressions are you referring to?
You know, the usual. lesbos, lesers, lesby friends, dykes, bull dykes, Dick Van Dykes, spare rib ticklers, cat flaps, pussyfooters, knickerpickers, men, backpackers, tent peggers, trout fishers, melon farmers, quick fit fitters, baggage handlers, and left luggage. Do those names hurt?
Where are you getting all these names from, Alan?
Just names.
Yeah, that you and the guys thought up in the office?
No, we didn't think them all up. I mean, lesers and dykes, can't take the credit for those. OK, now let's talk about your show, because I've got to. Now, tell us, what's it about?
Well, next week, Jeanette Winterston will be reviewing the latest gay fiction, and this should interest you, Alan. We have a women's football team, and also in the next show we have Kitty Mayhew from the British Museum. She'll be looking at some Etruscan earthenware depicting early gay iconography.
Fantastic!
Are you interested in gay?
No, I just realised an anagram of Alan Partridge is Great Drain Pal.
You can get the word Pratt out of partridge, too.
Yeah, I know.
And Alan is an anagram of anal.
Yes. I'm well aware of that.
So, anal dirge Pratt.
I didn't know that. That's a good one. It's a very good one, that, yeah. I've been trying to think of one for Glenn Ponder. So if you can help me out there, that'd be good. Now, your new show.
Porn legend.
Sorry?
Porn legend. It's an anagram of Glenn Ponder.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Glenn, are you a porn legend?
Well, my boyfriend thinks
Yeah,
so.
all right. I don't think that. Don't want to get bogged down in that whole gay hornet's nest. Tell us a bit more about your show.
Well, we're also having features on gay holidays on Virago Press. We'll be looking at mortgages for lesbian couples.
Are you a couple?
I hope that you're not assuming because we're both lesbians we're an item.
No. But are you?
No, absolutely not.
We used to be.
Oh.
We went out for a while.
We were passionately involved for 3 years.
Now we're cooking. Turn it up.
It was fun while it lasted.
It was as if the surf rolled over us and we were sheltering beneath the wings of a great bird.
Lovely. Now, of course, you're sheltering beneath the wings of a great partridge. Not literally, that would be hideous. Like something out of Jason and the Argonauts, quite frightening. The new programme's called Off the Straight and Narrow. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Well, we call it OTSAN, or OTSAN for short.
Nearly an anagram of Satan. Carry on.
Yeah, Alan, it's just an abbreviation like you abbreviate this show to KMKY.
No, that's not its full title. Its full title is KMKYWAP. Or Kumkuwap, as someone in the office said the other day. It's the kind of thing you might expect a Red Indian to say to Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves, isn't it? Kumkuwap. Me, Big Chief Chatting Partridge. Kumkuwap. Aha.
It also sounds a bit like a moist toilet tissue, a kimchi-wap.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Yeah. I could wipe myself with a Kumkuwap and throw it down my Great Drain Pal.
After cleaning your anal dirge, Pratt.
Yeah, that's just offensive.
I wouldn't worry about it, Alan. No one's watching.
Yes, they are.
You've been losing 1 million viewers a week.
Yes, all right, I admit it. There's been some sort of a conspiracy to deprive me of viewers. And I'll tell you who's behind it. Your mates, that lot upstairs. The Mr. and Mrs. of BBC Two. They don't like me. They've all been to Oxbridge University, wherever that is. They all wander around in their baggy linen suits and their flip-flops saying, oh, look at me, I work for BBC Two. Do you like my glasses? They're like John Lennon's. I loathe these people. Every week, just before I'm about to go on air, a whole bank of them come into the studio and say, you can't do that, you can't say this, you can't say that. Get out! I wish all of you BBC Two people would get on a bus and just drive over a cliff. I'd happily be the driver. That said, good luck with the series. Please sit around for my next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Wanda Harvey and Bridie McMahon. Two ladies. Diddly-diddy. My first guest is intelligent, witty, a woman of the world with a figure that would stop the traffic dead both ways on the M1 if she were to wiggle across the footbridge at Toddington Service Station. She's a quality guest from top to bottom and back up again. Please welcome the new agony aunt from Playboy magazine. Stay tuned, the very lovely Daniela Forrest. Isn't she lovely? Eh? Yes. Phew, phew. Yes. Isn't she lovely? I nearly forgot. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Daniela Forrest. Aha.
Aha.
Oh. Well, that's the sexiest aha I think I've ever had. Right. Now, Daniela Forrest, you are Playboy's agony aunt. And you've also just published your autobiography.
Luck Be a
Luck
Lady.
Be a Lady. There it is. That's the book. There we go. It's your autobiography. It's published by Jones. Never heard of them. What comes across very strongly is your understanding of male psychology.
Well, I think I understand men because I adore them.
Yeah. And what, as a woman, do you look for in a man?
Power is attractive. Sensitivity. Sense of humour. I like a man who knows who he is.
I'm Alan Partridge. Carry on.
You know, I think the most important thing that I look for in a man is a fit, young body like a Greek god.
Right. Now, you also help people with their sexual problems. Let me give you a hypothetical problem. There's a couple, right? They've been married 15, 16 years, maybe more. And they've never slept, neither of them have ever slept with anyone else. Well, she has. On one occasion, she said it was a mistake. It was a PE teacher at the local primary school, let's say. He, on the other hand, has been faithful. Solid as a rock, right? He's been tempted, believe me, he's had offers. But he's never strayed.
And he's frustrated.
Yes, deeply. But that's only part of the problem. The real problem is that their sex life is, well, for want of a better word, moribund.
People need to explore their sex lives if they're not working, you know. If it's not working in the bedroom, bring it into the living room or the kitchen.
Yeah, well, they tried that, but the dog just wanted it. It was very off-putting.
I mean, you see, some people, they find it very sexy to be watched.
Not by the dog. I mean, Montgomery was frightened. He was just barking.
Who's Montgomery?
The man who masterminded the Battle of El Alamein. And the name of this hypothetical dog.
Have you got a dog, Alan?
Yes.
And what's his name?
Rommel.
Well, perhaps you should get Rommel involved in your sex life.
No, he's too old. He's blind in one eye, can't control his bladder.
No, you're taking me too literally. Once again, here is a man shying away from discussing sex. When I was a man, I used to have the same problem, but as a woman, I find that I am liberated.
Well, I'm very pleased for you. Now, hang on a minute. Who was a man?
When I was a man.
What are you talking about?
Will you have read my book?
Yeah, yes. No, I never read the books. Who was a man?
Who did you think Daniel was in the photographs?
I thought that was your twin brother.
I was Daniel. I used to be a man. I can't believe you didn't know.
I kissed you.
Why did you invite me on your show?
I thought you were sexy. I don't now. You're a bloke. Have I got man to knock your block off?
I'm a woman. I have breasts.
Oh, God. You should be in a circus.
Well, you'd be in the front row.
Yeah, there she goes. There he goes, I should say. I knew there was something dodgy about you. Your hands are a giveaway. You've got great big flapping hands like a bloke. You could be a goalkeeper. Glenn, did you know it was a man?
Yeah.
Debonair, did you know it was a man? Yeah, everyone knew, apart from old Muggins Partridge. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Forrest. Dan the Man Forrest. Paris, city of French people. Home of Quasimodo, Louis XIV, Hercule Poirot and Sacha Distel. City of lovers, of artists, of the croissant, the cappuccino. City of moonlight, of dreams, of men in long coats meeting in brasseries at dawn. And the setting for the 4th show in the 1st series of Knowing Me, Knowing You with Alan Partridge. Bonjour, bonjour, bienvenue, tout le monde. Why am I speaking in French? Well, it's because tonight's show is coming live from Paris. What was once a pipe dream is now the Channel Tunnel, a big pipe. But tonight, we're building a new construction, one that isn't vulnerable to a major terrorist attack. That's because it's a castle of chat, or a chatto. or since we're in Paris, a chatisserie. Now, when we were planning this, I was asked if I would like a French co-host to help me present the show. I said no, no way, nil point, absolument non. Then they showed me her photograph, and I said oui. I'm happy to have this woman as my co-host, subject to certain contractual stipulations. How can I describe her? Well, if I were Mad Baron Frankenpartridge with a cellar full of pickled corpses, then I would take the clever head of Melvin Bragg, stitch it to the torso of Edith Piaf, add some legs. I'm sorry, I think this is getting quite unpleasant. I'll just bring her on. Please welcome my co-host, a delightful French madame, although she doesn't run a whorehouse, but she does have excellent organisational skills. Here she is, France's answer to a younger Sue Lawley, Nina Vanier. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Nina Vanier. Aha.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were going to say oh then, but you didn't. Now, Nina, let me start by saying that I'm delighted to have you as my co-host.
And I'm also delighted to have you as my co-host.
No. You're my co-host. I'm the host. Now, Nina, none of my British friends will forgive me if I didn't say, we love the Channel Tunnel, but for goodness sake, don't send us any of your rabid dogs.
Well, we won't, Alan, as long as you don't send us any of your mad cows.
Well, I think you'll find that our cows went mad because they were bitten by your dogs.
It's an interesting theory, if a little xenophobic.
No French.
Xenophobic's an English word. It means small-minded fear of other nations.
It's time to meet our house band for this evening. They came over yesterday on the Hovercat.
Please welcome Glenn Ponder and
Glenn Ponder and Savoir Faire. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Glenn Ponder. Aha.
Aha.
And knowing me, Nina Vanier, knowing you, Glenn Ponder. Aha.
Aha.
Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Savoir Faire. Aha.
And knowing me, Nina Vanier, knowing you, Savoir Faire. Aha.
Glenn, I was taking a walk in Paris this morning and I saw a madman throw himself in the river.
Really, Alan?
Yes, he was quite literally insane, in the Seine. Seriously, Glenn, seriously, are you looking forward to the high-kicking ladies at La Folie Bergère tonight?
No, that was last night. The plan was changed.
What?
I thought you knew. We left a message.
Well, I didn't get one.
Yeah.
And I was in my hotel room all night. I ended up watching the Poseidon Adventure on TV. It was dubbed in French. There was no message.
Oh, I left one.
Glenn Ponder, and you definitely left a message.
Yes.
Okay. Glenn Ponder and Savoir-Faire. Delia Smith, Keith Floyd, Fanny Craddock and Mr. Kipling are all famous international chefs. So is our first guest, my first guest.
He's the most controversial chef in Paris. Passionate about food, not so passionate about the celebrities who dine in his restaurant. Recently, he poured rice pudding over Brian Ferry's head.
And slapped Jeremy Irons. He's wry, he's spry, he's crisp and dry. Please welcome super chef Philippe Lambert. Well, you certainly smell like a Frenchman. I mean, your aftershave. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice smell. Is it what, Aramis?
No, Alan, it's cologne.
It's good. It's good smell.
Thank you. What's yours?
Slazenger Sports. It's the stick type. I don't use the roll-on because traps your hairs. No, knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Philippe Lambert. Aha.
Aha.
Now, Philippe, you have very, very kindly arranged some delicacies here for us to pick at throughout the show. Now, I have to say, this is a whole different world to the universe of hula hoops, cheesy Wotsits and Monster Munch. Tell us a bit about them.
It's what I call my grand selection.
Big selection.
It's a selection of hors d'oeuvres.
Starters.
That you might find in my restaurant. I think appetizers or...
Starters, same thing.
Philippe, these are superb. Let's talk about your restaurant.
Good, yeah, good.
What's your fundamental approach to cuisine?
Well, actually, Nina, I don't have an approach, I have a reproach, you know. I'm very bored by the whole restaurant industry. To me, it seems little more than a big fat pig endlessly regurgitating and consuming that which it eats without discrimination, without taste, without joy. You know, I'm not interested what Egon Ronay thinks. You know, my Michelin stars, I send them back. You know?
You send them back? You just peel the sticker off the window and send it back?
No, Alan.
No, I know it is quite difficult, but it can be done. If you soak a sponge in soapy warm water and just hold it against the sticker, leave it for half an hour, come back, it'll just peel away. Bob's your uncle, you've got your Michelin stars off the window.
Thank you, Alan. I'll remember that.
Warm soapy water.
Thank you.
It's got to be warm.
Philippe, the other interesting thing about your restaurant, of course, is that it has no name.
Yes, that's right. It's, if you like, an irony that although it is called the restaurant with no name, people refer to it as the restaurant with no name. So...
Like Clint Eastwood.
What?
I'm just saying it's like Clint Eastwood.
What is like Clint Eastwood?
The spaghetti westerns, he was known as the man with no name.
And that's an irony that I think Jacques Derrida would appreciate.
Oh, certainly. And Jacques Derrida regularly dines at my restaurant and indeed regularly appreciates the irony.
Who's he?
Jacques Derrida, the philosopher.
I've never heard of it.
Jacques Derrida, the most famous philosopher in the world.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, Alan, would you care to name a more famous philosopher?
Yeah, all the great ones.
Yes, but one who is alive. Who is the most famous philosopher, Alan?
Greeks used enough.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely right. Yes, I'd forgotten about that.
Thank you.
Well, I'm lost. Your next question, please, Confucius.
I'm not confused. All right, here's a good question. Now, you are known as the top chef in your field. You've only got one restaurant. Bernie Inn has thousands. Jealous?
I don't know who is Bernie Inn.
You've never heard of Bernie Inn? He's the most famous steakhouse proprietor in the whole world.
Well, I'm sorry, Alan. Maybe Peter Ustinov should get together with Bernie Inn and open a steakhouse, you know, and have a steak, talk about philosophy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. They could call it Pete and Bernie's Philosophical Steakhouse. Good idea.
Actually, Philippe, what you were saying earlier about your restaurant having no name, I was thinking that another figure who would have been amused by that is, of course, René Magritte.
No French.
He was Belgian.
Same thing.
You like that one, Alan?
Quite nice, quite chewy. What is it?
It's beef.
What sort of beef?
Bull.
What part of the bull?
It's a gland.
How many of glands? How many of this glands does it have?
2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Philippe Lambert. Are you all right?
I hope my next guest doesn't suffer from vertigo, because she's at the height of her profession.
She arrived yesterday from London on the train because she doesn't like flying.
She really does suffer from vertigo.
And she caught the train from Waterloo. Please welcome fashion guru Yvonne Boyd.
Who came from Waterloo. Oh, important. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Yvonne Boyd. Aha.
Do you want me to say aha?
Yes, please.
Aha.
I'm a big fan of your clothes. I must say the outfit you're wearing tonight is wonderful. I really love it.
Yeah, I didn't know that as well as doing fashion, you also do pantomime.
What do you mean?
I presume you're Widow Twanky.
No.
Are you an ugly sister?
Alan, these are Yvonne's clothes.
I'm sorry, I thought you did pantomime.
No, I don't do pantomime.
Well, maybe you should, you know, I mean, you've got the clothes, and without wanting to be vulgar, the money is very good. It's very good. In fact, I'll tell you something, last Christmas I was in 2 pantomimes. I was in Norwich and Colchester as Mother Goose. And in fact, I had to travel from one theatre to the other in my goose suit. You know, it was quite hectic, you know, but believe me, at the end of the season, I quite literally laid a golden egg. It's worth considering. Peter Pan, Widow Twanky, buttons. Think about it.
Yvonne, can you talk us through the thinking behind this magnificent outfit you're wearing?
Well, it's a sort of fin de siècle ghost in the machine.
Is that the distributor cap off a Ford Mondeo?
I've absolutely no idea.
Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Do you drive a Ford Mondeo?
No. I don't drive. I don't like cars.
She doesn't drive, she doesn't fly, doesn't do pantomime. What do you do?
I design clothes.
That all?
Yes.
Yvonne, is fashion a necessity of culture or a cultural necessity?
Oh, hang on. It appears to be happy hour at Pete and Bernie's Philosophical Steakhouse.
I think you're rather rude, actually, because Nina's asked a very interesting question. What I think is that fashion is a necessity of culture, because really clothes are just things that cover up our mutual nakedness. I mean, you know, underneath our clothes, we're all of us naked. Even you, Alan.
No, I'm not.
Yes, of course you are.
No, I'm not. I've got underwear.
Yes, but underneath your underwear you are naked.
No, I'm not.
Of course, you have your buttocks.
Oh, yes, here we go. I was wondering how long it would take before the show descended into some French hidden buttock agenda.
Alan, all we are saying is that underneath your clothes you are naked.
No, I'm not. Now, Yvonne, we're about to see some clothes from your menswear collection. Now, the theme of my collection was sports casual. Now, bearing in mind that Pete and Bernie's Philosophical Steakhouse is closed, what's the theme of your collection?
The futility of mortality.
Why do I bother? Bring on the models. Bring on the models.
Right, well, the first model is Tor. Tor's cap and shorts are made of bandages, and his linen jacket has got real surgical stitching on it. He's also got a little truss on, which is a sort of ironic bum bag.
Is this man injured?
No, the whole collection is based on images of hospitalisation.
Right, so the idea is you've had an operation, you want to look good on the ward, that's what you wear.
No, they're for wearing anywhere. You wear them on the street.
He's wearing slippers. Sorry, the only man I know who wears slippers on the street is called Dougie. He wanders round Norwich shopping precinct with a Cornish pasty in his hand, shouting, "Get away, it's a bomb." He's insane.
Well, maybe he's sane and we're all mad. Anyway, the next model... the next one is Newman. Newman's got a more formal look.
Well, that's beautiful, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Yes.
Here you see, I've broken up the classic lines of the suit with a saline drip attached to an umbrella and with a pair of brogues, one of which is orthopaedic.
He looks like he's been in a car crash.
The final model, who's coming on now, is Matt. Now here I'm playing with ideas of constriction and freedom. So just as the plaster boots here impede, the bandage kilt liberates.
This waistcoat covered in corn plasters. Are they used?
Oh, for goodness
Of course
sake.
not. Don't be so ludicrous.
Sorry, I'm being told I'm ludicrous by Mrs. Whippyhead.
Well, that's the end of my collection.
Yvonne, it's a triumph.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, I'm confused. I've got to ask a couple of questions. This man here, what's this round his midriff?
It's a blood bag.
What if it bursts?
Well, you mop it up.
What with? What with?
With the eye patch. It's not a problem. I mean, what if your nose bleeds? You know, what if your arm bursts? What if your arm bursts?
I've heard of a nosebleed, but in my 14 years of professional broadcasting, including 3 years as a hospital radio disc jockey, I have never had anyone come up to me and say, "My arm's just burst. Could you play a dedication?"
Oh, come on now, then.
You just got me on
You're
here to
taking
read
things
it.
too
meant to be
literally.
with you.
You'll be willfully ill.
No one will wear these clothes. They look rubbish. Ordinary people do not like those clothes.
I like those clothes.
I like them too.
You're not ordinary, you're French. Glenn, my old mate, Glenn. Those clothes, are they rubbish or what?
I like them. Quite nice.
What? You traitor. There stands Judas Ponder. Check in his pockets, you'll find 30 pieces of silver. Except you won't, because he spent them all last night at the Folies Bergère. What are you two staring at? You look like steptoe wives.
I think you mean the Stepford wives.
I thought you French were good at chatting. I thought that's all you did all day, sitting outside your brasseries, sipping your cappuccinos, chomping on onions and going oh-hee-haw-hee-haw.
Oh, come on.
Well, now you're just
grow
being
up.
racist.
That is not racist. French people chomp on onions and go oh-hee-haw-hee-haw. That's a fact. Well, we've come to the end of the show. I've enjoyed it very much. I like to think that our two nations are perhaps slightly closer together than they were at the beginning of the show. And that can only be a good thing. It simply remains for me to thank my co-host, Nina. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
You didn't do anything interesting tonight?
No, I don't think so. Not after last night. I'm too exhausted.
Why, what did you do last night?
I went to the Folies Bergère.
That's a coincidence. That's where Glenn Ponder went.
I was there too.
Yvonne?
I was there.
You were?
My models were there. And the band were there as well.
The bat. You, accordion man, were you there?
Everyone except you, Alan.
Glenn, why didn't you invite me?
I left a message.
Right, Glenn, I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to give me an honest and truthful answer. Did you leave a message for me last night?
No.
Thank you.
Quite honestly, Alan, I didn't think they'd let you in. You know, there was a sign outside there saying no jeans, no trainers, no sports casual wear.
Glenn.
It's just a joke.
Just a joke. Huh? Here's a good joke. Here's a good joke. You'll like this one. There's this bloke called Glenn Ponder. He's playing jazz synthesizer in a Norwich wine bar. In walks Alan Partridge. Alan gives him a big break on national television. Glenn's pleased. Glenn gets lippy, Glenn gets the sack.
What do you mean?
You're sacked. You are sacked. I'm sacking you. In fact, it's happened. It's over. It's already You are a sacked man. You've been sacked. You're the subject of a sacking. I want you off these premises in 10 minutes, knowing me, Alan Partridge, sacking you, Glenn Ponder. Aha! And on that bombshell, it's time for me to say, knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Monsieur Testicle, knowing you, Pantomime Cow, and knowing you, Ms. Oh-hee-haw-hee-haw. Good night, arrivederci, and aha! Not you!